What's good?
Man, so I recently just watched Halloween Ends. And, you know, I'm not a very negative person. But, like, the worst thing anyone can say about this movie is that you wasted almost a whole 2 hours of your life you can never get back. Because that's exactly how I feel. What was they thinking? Anybody thinking? You know it's bad when you get articles on the internet talking about this movie will make people mad. Well, you know, I should have listened. I ain't even angry for real. I'm just numb. Nah, scratch that. The worst thing to say about this movie is that I will never, ever be scared of Michael Myers ever again. And we about to talk about that. There was already a lot of talk before this movie even came out that it was gonna suck. We got a whole bunch of news about there's gonna be desperate reshoots or whatever, that they did script rewrites, that, you know, the test screenings didn't like the original endings, things like that. We were told there was gonna be a twist at the end. Whole lot of stuff that we didn't really see. I mean, even look at the trailers. There's a whole lot of footage, if you pick it apart, that we saw from the first and final trailer in the past 3 months. I did a reaction with it with my homie Demarion. They're nowhere to be seen, and it's almost like the people making this movie knew this, because what we see in the trailers comes in like at the end of the movie, like the final 20 minutes. Which is why they kept spamming trailers on trailers and TV spots, because they knew that the only way that they were gonna get you in that seat, in that theater, was if they overcompensate and show you everything that you want to see. Instead, I got to sit through like a whole hour of something that I didn't even want to watch, following characters who I did not care about. Man, that man Cory, man, I can't stand Cory. Good actor, I'm not gonna lie. He did what he was supposed to do. He got paid, and I ain't even mad at it, because at least maybe this will give him some exposure. I hope his performance doesn't get undermined by the terrible script. And that's the thing, they brought in new writers. They said we need some help or whatever. I don't know, this is what I'm hearing and reading about, that they brought in some new writers to help them patch everything up, because I think what they realized is like what I said earlier, they overcompensated. They tried to do 3 movies when it could have just ended in 2018, but they got money. It was a huge hit. So they made Halloween Kills and this movie back to back within the year. And you can blame it on the pandemic, you can blame it on a whole lot of things, but I blame it on creativity. And that's not to say that they didn't have good ideas. That is not to say they did not have good ideas at all, because there's a lot. 2018, they had a vision and they executed it pretty well, despite some things not adding up how they should have been. It is what it is. Every movie has flaws, and I still like the movie a lot. Halloween Kills, as much as I dislike it at times, I can still throw it on and just let it play. I'm glad that I watched the first 2 movies before going into this one, like a day prior, because man, this pacing sucks. Everything kind of moved very slow, and I feel like the time that they used was really to set up a character that in itself we don't care about at all. We did not care about Cory, and I'm sorry, but it's true. No one cared enough about this character, because he's set up in the end of a trilogy. That's the thing, you gotta look at this as a trilogy. That's what it is. So what bugs me the most, I feel, is why do you have all these legacy characters in these movies, but not a single one of them stood up and said something? Hey, this kind of sucks. Jamie Lee Curtis herself said that this movie was gonna make her mad, but John Carpenter also was a part of this too. I'm pretty sure him and his son composed the music, and this movie in itself is supposed to be like the end of Laurie and Michael, and we got that to a degree. I'm not gonna say everything was done well, but I like the scenes with Laurie. I feel like her going from a very paranoid, gun wielding gangster of a grandma to this, very sweet old lady. The jump is a bit drastic, but I understand what they were going for, and at times it works very well, especially when she's faced with, I don't know if accountability is the good word for it, but other people looking at her sideways because of the consequences of Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. There's a scene where we get to see one of the kills of that movie who didn't die. The lady who worked at the cemetery, who we also see with her husband at the one home where I thought her and her husband got killed. Nope, she survived, and we get to see her sister confront Laurie. I like that scene. I didn't understand the motivation entirely, but I understand what the idea was. Give her some conflict in a way. And when you don't think about it and you really just try and understand what they are possibly feeling, I feel as if the most irritating thing about this movie is that all the time that we spent on a character we do not really know nor do we care about, we could have put and should have put into to be characters who are already established and definitely deserve a follow-up after, that night. And I feel like the best example is Allison. Allison went from being one of my more favorited characters in this little trilogy that they made to just kind of being an airhead. Like, why is she so horny in this movie? We expect her to have the most weight on her shoulders, if anything. She lost her boyfriend, her whole friend group, and both of her parents, and almost died a couple times herself, if I'm not mistaken. So I would have liked to have most of it be from her perspective, if anything. It really lies in the script. I kind of blame the studio for that too, because a lot of footage was cut out. We saw a lot of stuff, like even this scene right here, nowhere to be found in the movie. So altogether, we just get what feels like a very hollow and incomplete picture, instead of what should have been a pretty bittersweet, send off to Laurie Strode, the character who's been a part of these movies for the past 44 years of her life, and an overall conclusion to the Michael Myers story. I'm in no position to be like, all right, this is what we should have done or something like that. But when the flaws in this movie drag it down so bad and they're so almost childish, it's disappointing to say the least. And there's no bigger representation of that for how they did Michael. You saw the thumbnail of this video. They did Michael so disrespectfully. In the end of Halloween Kills, whether you like that movie or not, they were pretty spot on with how they interpreted Michael. They kind of make him the most raw he's ever been. This man got capped like 8 times, like straight to the chest, and then got jumped. Like look how they did my mans.
Get him up, let him get up, let him get up, let him get up. Fight back, fight back, fight back.
But in here, we literally see Cory, right? Like, this is a spoiler review, we're gonna talk about it. We literally see this man Cory, who first of all, Michael doesn't kill him when he first sees him. He chokes him, right? You know what I'm saying? Just really gets him like these. And then I guess Cory's just looking deep into his eyes, and he talks about it later. The lawyer's like, oh, you should have submitted yourself. Like, what? Did you just accept Michael inside of you? Wait, pause. He doesn't kill Cory. I guess he spreads his evil onto him or whatever. I wonder how they're gonna explain that. Because I guess he just felt inspired. Inspired by what? Getting choked out? He goes home and basically turns it to him almost immediately. I do not get it, because they go back and forth between saying, oh, he's supernatural, no, he's just a guy. They should have just left him like he's just a guy. We could see him get hurt, but he's just tough. They make Michael look like a bumbling idiot. First of all, they give him a sidekick. Since when does Michael get a sidekick? I haven't seen this man so pathetic since they made him like a part of a cult. But this was miles dumber than whatever they were thinking about in the 90s. They give this man a sidekick, like they're killing people like Batman and a Robin. Why does he get a pal now? And not to mention, why do we care? And there's no scene in this movie that makes me more mad than when Cory wants, like, all right, you know what? You're teaching me how to do this. I need the mask. I want to go murder people that bullied me. And he wrestles with this man Michael like they brothers. Like, this is how me and my little brother play around. Y'all over here tussling each other for the mask, and this man Cory wins. This man Cory puts Michael down, takes off his mask, and is like, all right, I'll be right back. Following scene where he kills like some of the guys who bullied him or whatever. Not to mention, they were band kids. It'll be a cold day in the Devil's parking lot before I get bullied by some band kids. Those scenes in themselves, I mean, they were all right. It was still really dumb because I know that it's the bumbling buffoon that is Cory. But then eventually tries to kill Laurie, and that doesn't work, obviously, because she's still a little bit of a thug. You know what I'm saying? She put 2 in his shoulder, emptied the clip, and he was like, you know what, you try and kill me then. We running the hands with it. But then this man Cory disconnects from the server and then makes it look like Laurie booted him. So I'm like, all right. So this movie's got like 20 minutes left. What do we do now? Michael's still out there, even though we've barely seen him. Fine, maybe I can find some enjoyment from the last little bit with Laurie and Michael. Nope, they have this man Michael just waltz right in the house. He sucks the evil right back out of Cory. Pause. And he's like, all right, I mean, I guess I'm in the house with it. Where's Laurie? And then she's over here, she comes out of the closet.
What did he say?
She comes out of the closet and they start to fight, and that fight was all right, short, but then again, we're running out of time here, so it was fine. Like I said, they dumped Michael down so bad from the last film, and they try and play it off like, oh, he took a lot of damage. Okay, yeah, he did, but he got right back up and proceeded to kill like 15 people. And you mean to tell me now he's like, oh, I'm old, I'm weak, I can't do it. I don't got it like I used to. It's like, you not a retired NBA player. You're Michael Myers. Ain't nobody better at what you do than you. There's Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Michael Phelps, Michael Myers. Like they fight. Lori wins by pinning him down while some knives on the table in the fridge. And the panning shot where they show him just like stuck was so like, he's shaking his head all weird. That was like watching your homie lose. So yeah, that's how Michael Myers dies. I feel like we saw way too much of his face in this movie, to be real. But I feel like my time has been wasted. It took one day of seeing all these reviews or whatever up saying it was disrespectful, that it was stupid, a waste of time, like it's disappointing. I knew I was gonna have to watch that at home. I would be a fool to see all of this and go spend money on it. Alright, I'm signing off. Y'all have a good day.
Here it is. My test results. Can you hear my heart beating? Oh, the white man's science is amazing, ain't it? Oh, no. This can't be.
Oh my God, Cory.
I said alright, I said alright. Don't go. I pray that they save my soul. On my soul. On my soul. I stay true. And she the baddest in the room. She the baddest in the room. She the baddest in the room. Yeah, she the finest. Baddest in the room. Her coat is filled with diamonds. Butterfly in the cocoon. We come out, you know we flying. I stay in the stool. Day and night, I be grinding. So diamonds.